Hello and welcome to this video on multiplying decimals. In this video we're going to look at some real life examples. As I've said in previous videos, a really good starting point is to know your times table. So do try and learn these because it will just make each step of your workings a little bit quicker. So in terms of real life questions and problem solving questions, you need to be familiar with these words because they might appear in a question, which then will give you the hint that it's a multiplication question. So make sure you're familiar with these words as different words which basically mean multiply. Example number 1. A pack of 6 fizz drinks costs £2.39. Work out the cost of 5 packs. Okay, so I'm going to use the diagonal method in this video. If you need a bit of a reminder of this, then do watch the previous videos. So with any question, I would always encourage you to estimate. So let's do an estimate for this question. So £2.39, well, that is closer to £2 than it is £3. So I'm just going to say that £2.39 is basically 2. We're trying to find easy numbers to make this as easy as possible. And I want 5 of them. So my estimate is just going to be 2 times 5, which is 10. So I know that my answer is going to be in the region of £10. That just helps give me a rough area of where I know my answer's got to be. So I've started to set up the diagonal method here. As I say, if you need a reminder of this, watch the previous videos. I've got 3 boxes. And why have I done that? Well, because I've got a 3-digit number here, 2.39, so I need 3 boxes because the numbers sit along the top, 239. And then I only need to go down 1 box because I'm only multiplying by a single digit number. So if you were multiplying by a double-digit number, you'd have to go down 2 boxes, and I'll show you an example of that shortly. So what do we do now? Well, it's called the diagonal method because you draw some diagonal lines, and it's really important that you get this correct. So again, if you need a reminder of this and you want it in more detail and going through it a bit more slowly, watch the previous videos. But this is how you draw the diagonal line. So you go from top right to bottom left of one individual box like this. And then you just take it a tiny little bit further. Okay, some pupils think that you do this, but that is incorrect. So please make sure you do diagonal lines from top right to bottom left, like that. Okay, and then you've set up your multiplication. So what do we do now? Well, now we do each individual multiplication. So here for this box, I'm going to do 9 multiplied by 5. 9 5s are 45. So I put 45 in here. This box I do 3 times 5, which is 15. And this box I do 2 times 5, which is 10. And now you add up the purple numbers, but you add them up in a particular direction. So here you add them up diagonally, and I give more an explanation of this in the previous videos. So adding along this diagonal, we get 5. Adding along this diagonal, 5 plus 4 is 9. Adding along this diagonal, 0 plus 1 is just 1. And adding along this diagonal, well, I've just got one number there, so it's just 1. So the digits of my answer are 1, 1, 9, 5. They're the digits of my answer. But I know that my answer has got to be in the region of £10 because that's what my estimate told me to do. So I reckon the decimal point goes here. And the cost of 5 packs of fizz drinks is £11.95. Okay, example number 2. A dog eats 0.65 kilograms of food per day. How many kilograms of food do they eat in 1 week? Okay, so again, good idea is to start with an estimate. So 0.65, well, that's basically 1 kilogram. Let's just say it's 1 kilogram. And it says how many kilograms of food do they eat in 1 week. Well, we know that 1 week is 7 days, so it's 1 lot of 7. 1 times 7 is just 7. So the answer I have got to find has got to be in the region of 7. Okay, 0.65 is a 3-digit number. You could just do 2 boxes and do 65 and then sort out where the decimal point goes at the end. But as there's only 1 0, I'm just going to put 065 along the top, like this. And how many do they eat in 1 week? 1 week is 7 days, so the 7 goes there, and then we draw the diagonal lines. And what do we do now? We do 5 times 7, which is 35. 6 times 7 is 42. And 0 times 7 is 0. So anything times 0, remember, is 0. So that's what I said. If you wanted to ignore this box and just do 65 times 7, that's absolutely fine, and just do a 2 by 1 box, that's absolutely fine, because as you can see, this 0 is not going to really do anything at the end there, but I'm just doing it for example purposes. I'm going to include it this time. So adding along the purple numbers, here I've got 5, 2 plus 3 is 5, 0 plus 4 is 4, and 0, well, that's just 0. Okay, so my estimate was 1 times 7, so that was an estimate as if the dog ate 1 kilogram of food per day, then obviously they'd eat 7 kilograms in a week, but we actually had a number that was less than 1, so I know that my answer's got to be around 7, but it's going to be, you know, not particularly close to 7 because it was less than 1 here, it's 0.65. So the digits of my answer are 4, 5, 5. And what's the closest number there? I can get to 7, which is about right for my answer. I reckon 4.55. So 4.55 kilograms of food is ate by the dog in 1 week. Example 3. A school hall can fit 25 rows of 18 seats. How many people can sit in the hall? So imagine 25 rows of 18 seats is going to look at something a little bit like this, and that is basically 25 multiplied by 18. So let's do that. 25 multiplied by 18, and this time I've got a 2 by 2 box because I've got 2 digits, 25, multiplied by another 2 digits, 18, 1, 8. Before we do this, remember, always a good idea to do an estimate. So let's do the estimate. 25, I'm going to say that's 30, let's round it up. And 18, well, let's just call that 20. So 3 times 2 is 6. And then I've got a 0 there and a 0 there. So I've got 0, 0. So 600 is my estimate. So let's have a look. What do we get? So this is 5 multiplied by 1, which is just 5, so 0, 5. This box is 5 times 8, which is 40. This box is 2 times 1, which is just 2. And this box is 2 times 8, which is 16. Adding up the purple numbers, along this diagonal I just get 0. Along this diagonal, 6 plus 4 plus 5 is 15, so 5 and then carry 1. I'm just going to put a tiny little 1 so it doesn't get confused. Add along this diagonal, I've got 0 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, which is 4. I'm going to put the 4 quite big because I don't want to get confused with that little 1 there. And then there's just nothing there, so 0. So the digits of my answer are 4, 5, 0. Don't get confused with this little 1 here, that was just carried. The digits are just 4, 5, 0. And because my estimate was 600, I reckon, therefore, the hall can sit 450 people. Example number 4. 100 grams of cheese costs 87 pence. Work out the cost of 400 grams of the cheese. Well, quick estimate. 100 grams is 87p. Let's just call that a pound. It's close enough to a pound there. So 100 grams is 87p, and I've got to work out 400 grams. So actually I'm only timesing by 4 here. So to get from 100 grams to 400 grams, I just have to times by 4. So it's basically a pound multiplied by 4. So 4 pounds. So my estimate is 4 pounds. So I've got to find something in the region of 4 pounds. So I'm going to put 0 here, 8, 7. And I'm going to multiply it by 4. And let's do the multiplication. 7 4 is 28. 4 times 8 is 32. And 0 times 4, well, anything times 0 is just 0. Add along the diagonals, I get 8. 2 plus 2 is 4. And 3 plus 0 is 3. So my digits are 3, 4, 8. Where do I think my decimal point's going to go? Well, my estimate was 4 pounds, so I reckon that my decimal point goes there. So £3.48 for 400 grams of the cheese. Example 5. A newborn chick weighs an average of 37 grams. How much would 8 average weight chicks weigh? Give your answer in kilograms. Okay, so I've got to be mindful that I'm given grams in the question, but I've got to give my answer in kilograms. And if it doesn't tell you there, it's always a good idea to look at the answer line and see what they've given on the answer line, because that is a giveaway as to what they want their answer in. So, okay, so we've got a newborn chick weighs 37 and we want the average weight of 8 of those, so it's 37 multiplied by 8, but then I've got to convert it into kilograms. So 7 times 8 is 56, and 3 8s are 24. Add along the diagonals, I get, well, 6 there. 5 plus 4 is 9, and just a 2 on its own, so 296. Oh, I didn't do an estimate. That's always crucial. Let's do a quick estimate just so I know where I'm going to put my decimal point or otherwise. So 37, let's call that 40, and 40, and I've got 8 of them, so 4 8s are 32, so my estimate is 320 grams. So therefore I reckon this precise answer is 296 grams. But what is that as kilograms? Well, 1,000 grams make a kilogram, so this is 0.296 kilograms. Example 6. Each day, Charlie cycles 8.5 kilometres. What is the total distance that Charlie cycles in a fortnight? So it's really important that you know that a fortnight is 14 days, also just 2 weeks. Let's do an estimate. So 8.5 kilometres, I'm going to call that 9. And a fortnight is 14 days. Well, 14, it's a bit of an awkward number. I'm just going to say 14, that is 10. So 9 times 10 is 90. So 90 kilometres is my estimate. It's going to be probably a little bit more than that, but that just gives me a ballpark figure. So 8.5, my 8 and the 5 go here. Just ignore the decimal point for the moment. I'm going to have 14 down here because a fortnight is 14 days. 5 times 1 is 5, so 0, 10s and 5 units. 5 times 4 is 20. 8 times 1 is 8. And 8 times 4 is 32. And adding on the diagonals, we've got 0 here. 5 plus 2 plus 2 is 9. 8 plus 3 is 11. Carry a little 1, I'm just going to put it in a different colour here. And then in this final diagonal, I've got 0 plus 1 is 1. So the digits of my answer are 1190. Okay, but my estimate was 90, so I reckon, because of course here I've multiplied by 85, but actually it's 8.5. So I reckon the decimal point goes there. 119, I knew it was going to be a bit more than 90, but it's in the same kind of area. 90, 119 is in the same sort of area. So the distance that Charlie cycles in a fortnight is 119 kilometres. Example 7. Pencils cost 9p each. A school wants to purchase 500 pencils. Work out how much this would cost. Okay, so this is a slightly different question. You could, of course, if you wanted to, do diagonal multiplication. But I'm going to show you a slightly easier way here. So if you think about 9p, well, first of all, you've got to be careful because this is in p and this is in pounds. So 9p is, in terms of pounds and pence, written like this, 0.09, okay? And we want 500 of them, so we're multiplying by 500. So as I say, you could do a 3 by 3 grid and do your diagonal lines, but you'd be getting loads of zeros. So what's the better method here? Well, I would do the following. I think about it as 0.09 and 500, I hope you would agree, is 5 multiplied by 100. So if I do this bit, 0.09 multiplied by 100, well, 0.09 multiplied by 100 is just 9. Okay, so that just becomes 9. And now all I need to do is multiply it by 5. Well, that's a nice easy one because 9 times 5 is 45. So to purchase 500 9p pencils would cost the school £45. Does it seem reasonable? Yeah. I don't think it would be £4.50, I don't think it would be £450, so £45 is your answer. Example 8. Strawberries cost £3.12 per kilogram. Work out the cost of 4.5 kilograms. Okay, so first of all we need to interpret 4.5 kilograms. What does 4.5 kilograms mean? It looks like this in terms of digits. Okay, 4.5 is 4.5. Estimate, let's do an estimate. £3.12, well, £3.12 is basically just £3. 4.5, let's call it 5. 3 times 5 is 15. So the cost of this is going to be in the region of £15. So let's do it accurately now. £3.12 is going to be 312 along the top and 4.5 on the bottom because 4.5 is written 4.5. Oh dear, what's happened there? Let's do the times tables now. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5 is 10. 1 times 4 is 4. 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 4 is 12. And 3 times 5 is 15. Adding along the diagonals, I get 0. 8 plus 1 plus 5 is 14. Carry 1. 4, well, 0 plus 4 plus 0 plus 5 is 9, plus another one is 10. Put a 0 there and carry a 1. 0 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1 is 4. And then in this column I've just got a 1, so it's 1. So the digits of my answer are 1, 4, 0, 4, 0. My estimate was 15. What number can I get near 15 there? 14.04. And because it's money, I'm going to write it properly as money, and I can ignore this 0 here. So it's £14 and 4 pence. Okay, here are 10 questions that you can have a go at yourself. So here are the first 5, and then I'll show you the next 5 in a moment. So pause the video now, have a go at these questions, write out your workings nice and neatly, show your diagonal lines and boxes, and then give a final answer nice and clearly. And then you can resume the video to see the answers. So here's questions 1 to 5. Here is questions 6 to 10. And I will show you the answers in one moment. Here are the answers. There's the answers for 1 to 5. And here are the answers from 6 to 10. Okay, very well done for having a go at those.